Hello, everybody, and this is going to be a movie review, and I'm going to be doing a lot more of these in the near future, so be prepared for that. So, today I am going to be reviewing The Conjuring. This is the first one, and I have yet to see the third one, but I am really excited to get to see that here in the near future, hopefully. So, The Conjuring is based off of Ed and Lorraine Warren, who Ed is a demonologist and Lorraine is a sensitive medium. And they were a couple that their career spanned all the way back starting from the 60s. And they would go to people's houses and they would help them get rid of ghosts and poltergeists. It's even been known that Ed did some exorcisms. And so they're a very popular couple. I suggest that you Google them to get more information about Ed and Lorraine. They have both since passed away, but they hold a very dear spot in my heart. And so, anyway, The Conjuring is based off of an actual case that the Warrens did. And this movie is based on true events that happened. There are also, I think, two books about this the books are called House of Darkness, House of Light, and it is written by one of the daughters of the couple that owned the house that this took place in. And so definitely check out that book. And I ordered mine on Amazon. I can check and see if it's still available on there or not. I'm not 100% sure, but if so, I'll put a link to it down in the description below. So, The Conjuring is all about a large family that decided they wanted to move out into the country to get away from the city. So they do. They move out into the country of New Jersey, I believe, and they buy an old farmhouse there. And starting from day one, different paranormal events begin happening, and they are, just chalking it up to, oh, it's a new house, we just need to get used to it. The kind of, it's a brand new house, it's gonna moan and groan, and it's very old as well kind of theory. Blaming it on the pipes and the drafts and things like that. So they just kind of blow things off for a while. But as time goes by, the paranormal events begin to escalate. And finally, they are at their wits' end. They don't know what to do or who to turn to. This takes place back in the early 70s. And so back then, there wasn't just, any paranormal group you could just call like today and say, hey, can you come in and help me cleanse my house? That was kind of unheard of back in those days. You got help from your local priest. And unfortunately, the parents had gone to several churches and asked for help, but they were turned down because they were not members of a church, and so nobody would help them. Finally, they had heard about Ed and Lorraine, and Ed and Lorraine were in town and they were giving a speech. So they decided to go and ask Lorraine and Ed for help, and they were just taking a chance that they would say yes. I mean, they were praying that they would say yes and help them. And sure enough, once the woman of the house told Lorraine that she had children and the children were being affected, Lorraine immediately said, yes, we will help you. Ed and Lorraine come to the house. They help them out. They stay over at their house for a number of days, several days, in fact, I do believe, because I read both the books. So I'm going not only off of the movie, but what I also read in the books as well. So anyway, the paranormal fun begins almost immediately for Ed and Lorraine, and they bring their assistants and they bring in a police officer and everything to verify that what is happening actually is happening. It's not made up. The couple's not making it up. The Warrens aren't making it up. This and that and the other. Ed finally gets to a priest that he works with and says, hey, I need permission to be able for you to do an exorcism here. This family needs their house exorcised. Not only that, the mother started to have oh my gosh, what is the word I'm looking for? Possession tendencies. She began acting strangely, and Lorraine was convinced that she was possessed. And so when they finally went to the Catholic Church and they told them, hey, this woman is going to need an exorcism, we believe that she is possessed. There are children involved. The house is chaotic right now with paranormal activity. The priest said even then that he needed to think on it. He needed to pray on it. So time keeps going by. Meanwhile, the paranormal events just keep getting worse and worse and worse. Children of the house are getting beat up. They are getting scratched. Hair's getting pulled. Things are flying around the room. They're hearing voices. Doors are opening and slamming shut on their own. There is disgusting rotten egg smell throughout the entire house. And then an apparition appears. And it turns out that the apparition is a woman who supposedly practiced witchcraft, lived in that farmhouse for many, many years before ultimately hanging herself in the tree out in front of their house and proclaiming her love for Satan before she died. Her name was Bathsheba. She also was rumored to have killed her child because the devil made her do it. She was also known to have possessed other people around the area to commit murders as well. None of this, mind you, has ever been proven. There is no proof that any of this ever happened. However, it is stated in the book, and it is also stated in the movie as well. But there's no actual proof that this ever happened. So anyway, so it goes on, and the movie tells you about the people that Bathsheba had possessed and made them kill this and that and the other. There's a little boy involved. This movie is definitely one of my favorite, what I call cozy movies. And you're going to hear that going forward in a lot of my movie reviews coming up. And what I mean by cozy movie is a movie where you've watched it several times. No matter how many times you watch it, you're still in love with it. It makes you laugh, it makes you cry, it makes you want to poop your pants, whatever. It's a movie that you want to put on and snuggle up with some snacks and your loved one and watch it and just let the world go by. It's what I'm calling the cozy factor. The cozy movie factor. And The Conjuring is definitely one of those movies. You have your scare factor. You have your jump scare factor. There are several jump scares in this movie. You have the horror factor in it. There's no slash killings in it. There is blood, but it's not a slasher film at all. The effects in this movie are really, really good. So I give, out of 5 stars, The Conjuring is definitely a 5-star movie, everybody. So definitely check it out. There is a total of 3 now. I have seen 1 and 2. The second one, not as good as the first one, in my opinion. If I were to rate The Conjuring 2, I would probably only give it 3 stars. It's not one of my cozy movies, but the first one definitely is. The first one has the overall wow factor. So definitely check it out if you get the chance. You can find it on DVD, and I'm sure most streaming channels have it out as well. I'm not 100% sure because I don't go looking for it because I own the DVD. So when I want to watch it, I just put it in. And I watch it often. It is one of my favorites. So definitely check it out. This movie is rated. Let me see what it is rated. I don't see it on here anywhere, which is really strange. I would say it's probably rated. Oh, here it is. It's rated R. And that's probably because of the killing and, of the occult and in that nature is what I'm assuming. There's no sex. There's nothing like that. I think there's just maybe even a few curse words and that's it in that movie. But it's an all-around good movie. By the end of it, the ending is very suspenseful. Holy cow! The ending, like, just makes you on the edge of your seat, like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? What is going to happen next? And so once you have watched it, the ending, it is a happy ending. And something else that I think is cool is at the end of the movie, while the credits are rolling, it shows actual footage from the real case from when it happened that was taken by Ed and Lorraine Warren and their team. And let's just say that it made a cop that goes in who was a skeptic, it really changed his mind after spending time in that house with the Warrens. So I definitely give The Conjuring a 5-star. I think I already said that. So check it out if you get the chance. So this is Spooky Marshmallow saying, remember, stay spooky, my friends. And also, if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Thank you for watching.